Wow, what a damn weekend. It is good to be back, though. It is Monday, and a lot of you guys ask me, hey, where you been? I take every weekend off, man. It's called a job. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's got to take time away and get in the hot tub and get the balls licked. No better day than Saturday and Sunday. But something happened this weekend, and it was a call to action from one of my favorite true crime YouTubers, good friend old Harshy over there in Harsh Reality. And he asked for people to comment on this potential serial killer in Oregon. And I'm going to do just that because I got my own theory. I got some other things I'm going to run by you because I actually had already started to pick up this story back when Joanna Speaks right there. She ended up missing. I touched on this a little bit then, and now we're going to get a little bit deeper into it now. I'm JB Gunner. This is Cryme Time. Harshy, I got your message. The bat signal went up, the JB signal went up, and here I am. Let's go ahead and get on into it. Let's do it.
Bring it back.
What's going on, everybody? As you guys know, I'm JB Gunner, and this is Cryme Time. Now, before we get started with all of this shit, let me first and foremost say thank you to everybody that supports the channel, regardless of the method you choose, whether it's Cash App, Patreon, Venmo, PayPal. Truth is, guys, even though Harshy Poo told you on his channel today it's not true, Harshy Poo, my channel's not monetized, and I'm not monetizing it yet. Contrary to what Harshy told you guys today on his channel about his monetization and other YouTubers' monetizations, this channel couldn't exist without you, the Gun Squad. Thank you guys so much. With that being said, if you too find value in my content, feel free to hit the links down below. Join the Gun Squad today. I do want to touch on that for just a second. By the way, if you're not a snowflake and you want to go check out my political channel or my live stream channel, which Friday night was insane. Hot tubs. Got some head on camera. Had to take that stream down. Y'all understand. So if y'all that was over there watching, y'all understand. Which leads me to my next comment. Harsh, side note, since I am doing this video because of your call to action, I want to comment on something you said this morning. He said that if people were running their channels right, and I know this wasn't a dig at me, then they wouldn't need to receive donations to keep their channel going because AdSense would pay them. Harsh, I've been on this platform 16 years. Let me explain something to you. I am what's called premium content like HBO and Showtime. What separates me from other YouTubers is my vulgarity, my ability to say what the fuck everyone else is thinking but can't says. All of you guys got to spell out the word rape or say essay. All of you guys got to say unalive, where I could just say murdered like a motherfucker. Why? It's what they pay me to do. They pay me to be unfiltered. That is what allows me to be unfiltered because I don't have to depend on Google Ads. So I agree with you. However, there's a difference between milquetoast, traditional cable, and then HBO. I'm the HBO of the true crime community. Let's just call it what it is, baby. Let's just call it what it's Cinemax. Showtime, actually. If y'all would have saw my Friday stream, Showtime, actually. Anyways, just want to get that out there. Harsh, he means well. He does good shit. Also wanted to comment on a couple other things. I don't really have any intentions in talking about like the fake audio that was out there, things like that. We already know. A lot of this shit was debunked 5 months ago. You know who it is. That new kid that just came into the community. He didn't mean no harm by it. He's a viewer of mine. And like I told him, just keep working, bro. Keep grinding. Don't be like Joseph Morris, man. Just don't. I understand everybody likes to break the news, breaks the scoop, but you gotta be legit when you come out here. You can speculate, but you cannot present something fake, like Jamie Foxx's photo with a Caucasian hand and say, hey, that's Jamie Foxx, all dead and shit. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta be a little bit smarter than that. Not saying he did that. That was Joseph Morris again. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get on into this story. Guys, it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago where I talked on my channel about a serial killer. Or not a serial killer, but I did a video on Oregon mother of three, Joanna Speaks. This was about how much time? A month ago. Her body was found in a barn, in an area with a barn. That was actually one of my least viewed videos on my channel because nobody really gave a fuck. So I didn't elaborate too much more on that. And then my boy, Harsh Reality, which if you're not subscribed to Harsh Reality, let me make something clear. Go on over there and subscribe to that man. He did a video the other day, this weekend, called Oregon Serial Killer. And in this, he asked some of his favorite content creators that he watches, and I'm honored to be obviously one of them. He asked us to get the message out there. And recently over the weekend, I've seen a lot of YouTube creators do it, and I've also seen this become something reported on even News Nation. But not just that, Fox News, Daily Mail, all over the place, people are asking the question, is there a serial killer in Portland, Oregon? Now, we're going to touch on that because Joanna Speaks, but I want to say something before we get into this. 6 women are found in less than a 100-mile radius of each other. Now, let me ask you a question. How far is Oregon? How far is Oregon from from Idaho? Not very far, huh? So, we have women being killed, potentially a serial killer in Oregon. We just had 4 people slaughtered in Idaho. Just curious, is it possible? Is it possible that the same person that killed the people in Oregon may have taken a trip to Idaho, which isn't that far away, and killed 4 motherfuckers in Idaho? Oh, no, that's right. You guys still want to blame Kohlberger. You guys, maybe it is Kohlberger. Maybe Kohlberger really is a successful serial killer. All I'm doing is throwing this out there. I know what you're going to say. Yeah, but these 6 were found in a 100-mile radius. Well, you don't think killers can travel? You see what I'm saying? These 6 were in a 100-mile radius. But when you look at people like Ted Bundy or anybody, people like that has been known to travel to other places and kill people. I believe Ted Bundy killed in Washington and Florida and a couple places, right? I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that one. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back to this. Is there a serial killer on the loose in Portland? 6 women under 40 have been found dead in suspicious circumstances in secluded areas in a 100-mile radius in the last 3 months. Police are working to determine whether the women's deaths are connected. One of the women died of blunt trauma to the head. That would be Speaks. But the other causes of death have not yet been made public. So the one case I reported on right here, when we're talking about Joanna Speaks, she was the one right here, son of a bitch, right here. This dope fiend was the one actually found in Oregon by the barn with blunt force trauma, and a lot of people say it looked like her body had been moved. It didn't look like the original location of her murder. I know what you're going to say, JB, why you call her a dope fiend? Well, she was a dope fiend. I'm not the biggest fan of dope fiends. It just is what it is. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I said it then. And I bet you we're going to find out a lot of these women are involved in high-risk activities. And I'm not saying they deserved it. I'm not saying anything like that. But if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. It's that simple. We all understand that, and just the way it is. You may not like what I'm saying, but you cannot deny that it's the fucking truth. Fuck you and your feels and your unalived and your essay. You know, I'm going to say murdered, raped, and play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It is what it is. Now let's get back to this. The bodies were found between February 19th and May 7th within 100 miles of each other. Keep in mind, the Idaho murders was November 13th. This is all a pretty close area within a pretty close frame of time. The victims were also found in suspicious circumstances in discarded barns, on the side of the road, or hidden among bushes. The first victim was found on February 19th, and the most recent was discovered on May 7th. Police have only released the cause of one woman's death. She died as a result of blunt force trauma to the head and neck. That was Joanna Speaks. The other woman's cases of death have not yet been revealed. It remains unclear what the women have in common, if anything. I'm going to go with drugs. Now, 3 local, remember, you guys know I give you my gut feelings on all this. My gut feeling is drugs and or prostitution. They're either drugs or hoes or both. Either way, they're all dead. They're all fucking dead. Let's go ahead and continue. Joanna Speaks is found dead inside of a barn in Richfield, Washington on April 8th. Once again, that's Washington. You understand what I'm saying? And so there was rumors even in that he'd killed her in Oregon, took her to Washington. I believe was what it was, right? Oregon, Washington, Idaho. Gee. Just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Unidentified Native American or Alaskan woman is found dead on the side of the road, less than 3 miles from where Smith was found. Who was Smith? Let's see who the fuck Smith is. Right here. On February 19th, Kristen Smith, age 22, was found in woods in Pleasant Valley. Her body was identified on May 25th. Now, this Alaskan American was found less than 3 miles away. Ashley Reel, age 22, was found on May 7th, a month after vanishing from a fast food restaurant. And I'm looking at all these women. They look like drugs could be an issue. We'll talk about that in a second. Charity Lynn up here, age 24, was found dead in a culvert on April 24th. Bridget Leanne Ramsey Webster, age 31, is found on April 30th. Police say her death is suspicious, but have not released details. I want you to take a look. I want you to look at all of these women. Is there anybody here that would be surprised if they were on drugs? Look at this woman. This woman right here is Ashley Reel. Her remains were spotted by a fisherman in a heavily wooded area in Eagle Creek on May 7th. Now, remember, if you guys remember the Joanna Speaks case, I told you if we find out, all you got to do is probably look into people that are heavily involved with drug dealing and or prostitution. That is how you're going to find your killer here. You need to find someone that's involved in drugs and or prostitution. They're going to be heavily involved in this. Because I'm going to even tell you right now, I believe that some of these women may even have trusted the person to go with them, like maybe the fact that they were a John purchasing vagina. My hand doesn't say playing Candyland 24/7. It just says pimping 24/7. Understand that I understand this line of work. My mother was a whore. My sisters was a whore. And in my youth, I did it I didn't. I'm a whore now. But back then, I guess you can say I was a manager. So my point that I'm trying to make to you guys is that I understand this lifestyle. So when you see these women, usually they'll have a little bit of a drug history. And you got to get drugs. You got to pay for drugs. Sometimes that's just the way of the world. It's just the way it works. So looking at this woman, I would not be surprised to see this woman on drugs, possibly homeless. She was last seen on surveillance footage at a fast food restaurant on March 27th. Now, we go down here. This is a sketch of the Native American and Alaskan woman right here. I'm not 100%. It's a computer-generated image. I don't know. You never know. But if we look over here to Charity Perry on the right, is there anybody here that would disagree with me? This woman right here is clearly on drugs. Clearly on drugs. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Some of the families say they're now fearful that more women will be next. I don't want to ever scare people, but the reality is there are women dying in awful numbers. Robin Speaks. We talked about her in the past. Her sister Joanna, a mother of 3 and a recovering drug addict, was found dead in a barn in early April, just a few weeks after vanishing. Blunt force injuries to her head and the neck. Police say her body had been moved to the location where she was found. So definitely somebody potentially doing this. Now look at this chick right here in front of you. This chick right here is Kristen Smith. I want you to see this. Is there anybody here? Was that a nose ring? Is there anybody here that believes that this woman is not on drugs? I'm just saying. I'm not guaranteeing that she is. I'm just giving you my initial gut feeling. My initial gut feeling. Kristen Smith had been missing since late December. 1 month after Idaho 4. Let's continue. Her remains were found in a wooded area near an intersection in Pleasant Valley. The coroner has not yet ruled on a cause of death. Her family set up a GoFundMe to help pay for the funeral expenses. They have been conducting their own searches for her and handed out missing person flyers. On April 24th, a few weeks after Joanna's death, Charity Perry was found dead near Ainsworth State Park. That was the chick with the bald head up there. Police will not release any more details about her death for fear of compromising their investigation. Makes sense. The same day, an unidentified woman who police believe is of Native American or Native Alaskan descent was found dead near the interstate. Now we got this woman right here. This is Bridget Leanne Ramsey Webster, age 31, found dead on the 30th. This one on the left, this is Joanna Speaks. We've discussed her. I'm not sure. The only one that doesn't necessarily look like a dope fiend is this Bridget chick, but I would not be surprised whatsoever. She had two distinct tattoos, a black music note with a letter V and a Buddha on her right upper back. When she was found dead, she was wearing rings and bracelets, a green long sleeve shirt, and a black and white zip-up jacket. Bridget Leanne Webster was found dead on April 30th. Police say she was known to frequent Central Portland. Yes, gee, I wonder why. Party girl? Probably. The last body to be found was that of Ashley Rio. There we go. So those are the women that we have. We got a little bit of news coverage of it. Let's go.
Several months, 6 women 40 years old and younger have been found dead in wooded and secluded areas around the greater metro area. And while investigators from several local agencies haven't connected their deaths, they are looking into the possibility. Fox 12's Drew Marine has the story about each of the women and what we know about what happened to them.
The first of these deaths starts with 22-year-old Kristen Smith from Gresham, a loving sister and daughter who was obsessed with her cat Echo and had a talent for doing makeup. She was reported missing by her mother, Melissa Smith, in December last year, but Portland police say her body was found just 2 months later in a wooded area near Southeast Deerdoff Road and Southeast Flavel Street on February 19th. A few weeks later, on April 8th, the Ridgefield Police Department and Clark County Fire Rescue responded to a report of a body near an abandoned barn on South 5th Street in Ridgefield. The Clark County Medical Examiner's Office determined this was a murder, saying the body had likely been moved to that property. They've since identified the remains as 32-year-old Joanna Speaks, who is remembered by her family as an outgoing sister and mother of 3. Her family says she had no connection to the area, so how she ended up in Ridgefield is a mystery to them. Come April 24th, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says they found the body of 24-year-old Charity Lynn Perry under suspicious circumstances near Ainsworth State Park. Crime Stoppers of Oregon have offered up a $2,500 reward for any information leading to an arrest. That same day, an unidentified woman between 25 and 40 years old was found dead near I-205 and Southeast Flavel Street. The Multnomah County Medical Examiner's Office is asking for the public's help identifying her and provided this sketch. They say she was possibly Native American with medium-length black hair and about 5'1". You
know what that tells me? That tells me her body was decomposing and look, man, why wouldn't they just release some sort of picture? It's a computer-generated issue, and they don't image, and they don't even necessarily know what her nationality is. Something tells me the body itself was in bad condition.
At the time, they say she was wearing a long-sleeve green T-shirt, a black and white jacket, and black and white Adidas cleats. She also had 2 tattoos pictured here, a black music note with the letter V on her chest and the Buddha on her back. On April 30th, the Polk County Sheriff's Office found the body of Bridget Leanne Ramsey Webster from Milwaukee. She was found on Harmony Road near Mill Creek and is known to visit the Portland area often. A week later, on May 7th, the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office says they found 22-year-old Ashley Rial's body in a heavily wooded area near Eagle Lake.
Remains located, not body.
Missing on March 27th.
Remains.
Almost all the agencies involved, including the Multnomah County and Clackamas County Sheriff's Offices, have confirmed investigators are working together to determine whether there's a connection between these cases, but haven't so far. Drew Marine, Fox
This is going to be crazy. So look, man, I'm going to give you my, place. I think it's drug or horror related, if you want to know the truth. Or it could just be a serial killer. But look, serial killers a lot of times prey on vulnerable, high-risk people, which would probably eliminate this killer from being involved with the Idaho 4. Do you see what I'm saying? But I feel it's strange that there's a serial killer up in that area, that general region, And of course, everybody's looking at Brian Kohlberger as the culprit in Idaho. I don't know, maybe it's the guy that's killing all these bitches. Did you ever think about that? You know what I'm saying? Did you ever think about that possibility? It's probably not, because the MOs are different and they seem different. Those college kids was for beautiful college kids, and whereas these people are probably street walking, drug using whores. Just to be perfectly honest, you know me, I call it like I see it, and I'm very rarely wrong. Very rarely wrong. But let me know what you guys think about this. Shout out to Harsh Reality for doing this. We did touch, like I said, on the Joanne Speaks case. I will try to look into more of these cases independently. But in my opinion, serial killer in Oregon seems likely. It's not like it's never happened before, right? So it's really crazy how many serial killers and how many people like that still exist, even though we currently live in a 1984 surveillance state. That's pretty fucked up and weird. I mean, you got to still be good at this in order to get away with it. Is there a serial killer? The likelihood says no, but I'm leaning towards yes. These are a lot of women in a very short, packed-in area that have been found in strange circumstances. I'll let you guys decide. Let me know in the comment section. Do you think there is a serial killer? Do you agree with me that it's either drugs or prostitution involved here? Let me know what your guys' take is on this. I'm JB Gunner. This is Cryme Time. If you like what I do here and you find my content valuable, feel free to hit the links down below. I love you guys. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are doing great, and I will see you tomorrow with a new video. There you go, Horse.